first, Lauren, today's topic of the show is I want to get your perspective on the possible title changes we could see at WrestleMania this year.
Okay.
So, based on the things I'm seeing online, there's speculation on different matches that are going to have title changes. Right now, we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5. That looks like 6, 7, 8 title matches on the card.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. And that's not including what else could get kind of thrown in on the weekend. Mm-hmm. And when I'm doing this, I'm considering the whole weekend WrestleMania. So I want your take not just on the WrestleMania night, but on every title. We'll go through them one by one here, and I want you to tell me if at WrestleMania do you see these titles switching hands. And that could be the SmackDown before, the Monday Night Raw after, the Saturday, the Sunday, any of that time. It's only main roster titles we're talking about here, okay?
Okay.
So we'll start in the men's division.
All right.
On the men's division side, we know for sure that Bron Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor are going to be in a Intercontinental Championship match. What are your thoughts on the title changing hands in this match?
So, who has the title right now?
Bron Breaker. Bron Breaker is your current champion
Okay.
as Intercontinental champion.
It's either Penta, Finn Balor, and who's the third one?
Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Ooh. So you said it the other day that Dominic Mysterio could possibly win it. At first I wanted Bron to stay the champion, right? Okay. But I didn't know he was already the champion, so I was like, Bron's going to win it. But I think Dom could be a refreshing, like, I don't know. I would just like to see him as a champion.
Well,
I think
that's what I want. I want your opinion. So, understandably, what the game we're kind of playing here is that you understand every title's not going to change, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be a little bit picky and choosy here when you cause a title change in a match. That then creates the assumption that maybe another, we're not going to have 8 title changes.
Yeah.
Now, the Las Vegas odds, I didn't want to give you this before you started.
Yeah, I don't want to know them.
Well, I'm going to give it to you. I only know it for this match.
Okay.
They have Dominic Mysterio winning this match.
Oh, awesome.
So I called it the other day. You're calling it. It's what you'd want to see.
Called it here.
A Intercontinental Championship change with Dominic Mysterio becoming the Intercontinental Champion. I like it. The only thing that I fear is what it means for the rest of the card, right? Because I just think we're going to get at most 3 to 4 title changes.
Yeah.
So that takes one of those slots. So then the next match becomes the United States Championship with LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. Does this title change hands at WrestleMania
LA Knight has
or
it
the
right
weekend? Yes, LA Knight. Usually the first person I'm listing is the current champion.
I mean, I personally am going to stay with LA Knight, but I could totally be wrong. Maybe something's going to happen to where like somebody interferes or something like that.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the same train of thought I would take. I want Jacob Fatu to be champion, but I still feel like the end goal for Jacob Fatu is to get Solo Sikoa. Uh-huh. I think they've just pushed that back a little bit. I think that Solo Sikoa gets involved and makes it about himself.
Which then builds their storyline.
Sure.
I like that.
I think that.
You stole it from me.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty solid. I don't want to use one of the title changes there.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we go to Gunther versus Jey Uso.
Jey Uso.
Do you think so you think this is a title change?
Yes.
There's a part of me that I've seen rumors right now floating around of a Jey Uso heel turn.
You think that he could lose and then turn bad?
Could he side with Cena and The Rock and then come back at Backlash because The Rock gives him another opportunity and therefore a double flip giving Gunther kind of a babyface turn and Jey Uso becoming the bad guy? I don't think it's going to happen. I think that is as far-fetched an idea as could be pitched right now, but I'm seeing people discuss it at least. I think the solid, like the straight-up play here, Jey Uso wins at WrestleMania. We have the big celebration party, the 80,000 people yeeting all over the place, and then he goes to the nightclub and he yeets some more. Mm-hmm. I think that's the safest answer. So that's 2 title changes. We're going to go Jey Uso and Dominic Mysterio walking out of WrestleMania with titles. Now we go to Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. This is where this gets interesting, right? Would they flip both major world titles on the same show?
So I don't know what the benefit of John Cena winning it. So you said he's still going to continue to wrestle the rest of the year.
So he would set the record for the most ever world championship wins.
Well, then I feel like they have to give it to him then, just because they're like, they want to break records and records and records. Sorry, my allergies are killing me.
So yeah, this is where I don't think they'll just turn every title, but this is another one where I feel like if you want people to go home happy, it's got to be John Cena, and it's got to be The Rock interfering, and it's got to be this big corporate kind of takeover, this push. Cody Rhodes is against all odds. Maybe somehow after all of the bullshit, Cody comes out on top and he continues as champion, but I just really feel this is one I'm not sure about, though. This is one that I think is still a long shot. Because there's so many ways to play this to continue it past WrestleMania. There's so many ways they could play this where Cody gets the win, but it just rolls over to Backlash. The thing is, now John Cena is scheduled for the SmackDown before WrestleMania, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, and I believe another Monday Night Raw, which gives me the vibe you wouldn't book him if he wasn't champion, right?
Yeah, I mean, why would he commit to being there that much?
It feels like it's kind of to tie up the story, and then maybe he goes away a couple of weeks because he's Hollywood.
Yeah,
and then we get Cody Chase. I don't know. That just feels.
So I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
If he doesn't get the championship belt, then does that like he can't get the record then?
It's not that he can't get the record. He could go. I mean, he could attempt to fight Cody again, like I said at some point. Mm-hmm. He at any point in this run could switch over and go after Jey Uso or Gunther, whoever ends up being champion there.
I just feel like it being his last WrestleMania. It's his big moment.
I don't think this is his last WrestleMania.
So I thought he said this is his last round.
I get the feeling he's gonna run from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. I get that feeling. I think he has to retire at WrestleMania. That feels to me like the proper way to send Cena off.
So does he get the championship belt
and holds it all the way to
retire?
WrestleMania? That's a possibility. I don't think it's out of the realm of like Roman Reigns held the title for 4 years and for the last year barely showed up. So Cena showing up once a month or a couple times every couple of months, that's not out of the realm of possibility of what WWE would do. So then we go to the Raw Tag Team titles. It's not official, but it's looking, everything I read, the War Raiders versus the New Day.
Okay, so who has the championship belt?
The War Raiders currently have the titles.
I don't think we see a change there.
I don't either.
So
I don't either. I just because of what's going on. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see the New Day win. I think the New Day will win the titles at some point in the near future. I just don't think this has to be a WrestleMania move.
Yeah, there's just so many changes that I already predict, so I don't feel like that.
I think that the War Raiders benefit more from a WrestleMania victory than the New Day does coming in and taking it off of the War Raiders. I think this can happen down the road and we'll be perfectly fine. We don't have a SmackDown Tag Team title match announced.
Okay.
Do you think right now the Street Profits are your current tag team champions? At any point over the weekend, do we get a SmackDown appearance by the tag team champions? I think there's already number one contenders set. So it'll be there probably will be a title match at some point this next weekend. Coming up.
Maybe they get called out or something, and it's like a surprise.
No, I think I'm not positive, but I believe somebody. I think it's Motor City Machine Guns. Somebody won the
chance to wrestle them.
The chance to wrestle them, or they just had an opportunity and there's a DQ. I don't remember the exact story, but I've just like Triple H has been booking the SmackDown Tag Team Championship picture to have about 5 teams that are all interchangeable. So I assume within the weekend of WrestleMania, there's going to be some sort of match. But do you think the Street Profits just won this a couple weeks ago? Do you think there's any danger that they would lose the title?
No, I think they'll maintain it.
I do too. I think it's crazy if they lose it. I think that you have a star in Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins has looked absolutely phenomenal. So to then take the titles off of them, even if you're trying to build this division, I think it's too soon.
Yes, sir.
So let's flip over to the women's side. Okay. We have Lyra Valkyria, who just beat Bayley with a roll-up pin.
Okay.
Which seems like the type of thing you would set up to build for a WrestleMania rematch in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm not real excited about this match. I wanted Becky Lynch, but this is what we're probably getting is going to be Lyra versus Bayley. Is Lyra Valkyria in danger of losing the Intercontinental Championship to Bayley?
Yes.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay. This is another one of those for me that I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know the benefit to me. Like, it seems like the goal for Triple H right now
is to build her up.
Is to build Lyra Valkyria up. So why bring in
with my gut. I like Bayley.
Someone like I love Bayley, and I don't think and the argument I'm gonna get immediately from people in the comments is that Bayley will add prestige to the title. I get that, but she also, if Lyra loses here, it's one of those situations where it doesn't benefit Bayley enough. It benefits the title, but I think Lyra Valkyria would benefit more from a big win
against Bayley
at WrestleMania or WrestleMania weekend against Bayley, solidifying that she can beat the top talent, which then you could roll into maybe on Monday. This is a prediction.
Yeah.
If Lyra Valkyria beats Bayley at WrestleMania and on Monday she's celebrating, Monday's the day, Lauren, where lots of big things tend to happen. The day after, is that when Becky Lynch comes back and challenges Lyra Valkyria for the IC title?
That'd be pretty cool.
It feels like that could happen. So I'm gonna go with no title change there.
Okay.
We got Chelsea Green versus we don't know. We don't really know what the picture looks like. I have to assume, just like I said with the Street Profits, Chelsea Green's going to be a part of WrestleMania in some form or fashion, whether she has a match on Friday, whether they slide her in on a Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
She's going to be there. There's no doubt she's too big, too much of a fan favorite.
Amazing. I love her.
So with the way that picture's kind of looking, like I know Meechin's kind of been in the mix. I know B-Fab's kind of been in the mix. Is there a world?
There's no change. She's going to keep it because she's going to find a way to make sure that she keeps that belt.
I agree. I just don't think you have a credible. You don't have a credible threat to Chelsea Green to take that title. She is elevating that title just by being Chelsea Green. And until you have somebody credible to challenge for that title, and that's not a shot at Meechin or B-Fab. I just don't think they've been built up to take down Chelsea Green at WrestleMania. So I think that title stays put through the week. Then we go to the World Heavyweight Championship. I know it's not. It's the World Championship. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. The title's currently in Io Sky's hands. My guy Dead Chef tells me Bianca Belair is walking out as the World Heavyweight Champion. But I don't know with all the other title changes.
This is one I'm just so unsure about. Like, I have no idea where it could go. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley just because I chose her in my little draft thing.
See, my honest opinion is that if I'm putting odds on, I think Rhea's the farthest to win. I think she's been champion for so long. They're kind of playing her as kind of a whiny baby face. I think my odds right now, if I'm booking it just in my head, I think Io Sky retains because they don't waste a title change here. The fear is, I think Bianca Belair is undefeated at WrestleMania. And do they want to break that streak in this match?
WWE loves records.
I know they do.
So I'm going to change it. It's Bianca.
They love records, and they like these WrestleMania streaks that they can talk about as they get to. Now, they haven't mentioned it, which lets me know that maybe they're going to try and take the focus off of that. I can see a world where they say, as long as Bianca doesn't get pinned, she doesn't lose the match. That is a thing WWE has done in the past, where if Io pins Rhea, they won't count it as a loss for Bianca, which I think is bullshit. But I've heard that, like, they're touting right now, like, Jacob Fatu has not been beaten. Even though he's lost matches, he's never been pinned in WWE.
Okay.
So I could see them trying
by
to
disqualification
spin,
or something like that.
Not even disqualification. It's a 3-person match. If Io pins Rhea, that means Bianca didn't technically get pinned.
Oh, okay. I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
I could see them trying to finagle that conversation in that way. In my heart of hearts, this feels like it's being set up that Bianca and Rhea are just going to focus on each other, and Io
will just kind of slide by.
Will slide by. That's what I feel. I just feel like with the other title changes we're talking about, you're now talking about,
that's a lot of title changes,
3 title changes? Because here's the last one, the last major one is Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, which I had been calling Charlotte was going to win this match, but now you're talking about a world where we're possibly talking about every major title changing hands on WrestleMania. We're talking about Jey Uso winning. We're talking about the world where John Cena wins. We're talking about where Bianca Belair walks out. And then if I predict Charlotte, that means I'm predicting every world championship changing hands, which I just think is absolutely not a possibility.
Yeah, but I think Tiffany's going to keep it, so it doesn't matter.
So I wonder at this point if plans haven't changed based on Charlotte's behavior. Because I think there was a point in time
she was going to win.
I thought they wanted Charlotte to win this. I thought the only reason you would waste the Royal Rumble on Charlotte is that you want her to win at WrestleMania. And
is it supposed to be like a passing of the torch type of thing?
I don't think so. See, I think that's next year. I think that Charlotte was going to win. This is just the way I'd book it, was Charlotte winning, being a complete asshole for the whole year, holding Tiffany back, not allowing her to get title matches until Tiffany wins the Royal Rumble next year, which gives Charlotte no choice. And as Charlotte picked Tiffy, then next year Tiffy goes, no, it's no question. We're not going to play the game of who am I picking. I want you, and I'm coming for you at WrestleMania.
Well, she's definitely doing one part of that so far.
Sure. Then last we have Liv and Raquel versus whichever. There's like a tag team match on SmackDown tomorrow, that's going to be to see who goes.
Somebody.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of teasing Maxine and Natalya, which is interesting.
Okay.
But I don't think. I mean, I'll let you say. I don't think that Liv and Raquel drop the titles.
Yeah.
They like Liv right now. Liv has earned her position.
Especially if Dom wins. Could you imagine Dom and Liv together?
Well, yeah,
as
that's
champions?
true. Double champions, and then Finn's pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I like that, right? Because Raquel, Dom, and Liv are gonna go. Where's your title, Finn? Where's your belt?
Yeah.
I like that.
Maybe it's a leprechaun.
All right, so we foresee like 4 title changes. I think we're saying Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
We're saying Jey Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Are we both in agreement on John Cena, or are we thinking that doesn't happen?
I don't think John Cena wins it. But no. I do think he wins it because he wants records.
Okay, that's 3. We think Bianca, or are we going Io?
With all the other ones that we have, I think Io's going to keep it.
Okay. And then you got Tiffany retaining.
So
that's only 3 title changes. That seems...
That's still kind of a lot.
No, that feels 3 title changes on a card that has 14 matches.
That seems doable.
Feels very WWE.
Yeah.
They're not going to do 5 or 6.
That would be crazy.
4 is going to really be pushing it.
Yeah.
3 is safe. Maybe we get 4. I like that.
Yeah.